Good morning, everyone. It is 6:03 right now, and I was up just a few minutes ago at 6, but I couldn't get my camera to the right setting, so I had to work on that. So I am about to start my morning routine, so I have about half an hour of prayer time while I work on things, and we will see you all later. I got dressed. Now I have to wipe down the bathroom, make the bed, and what else do I do in the mornings? Brush my teeth, wash my face. We will see you. So now if you hear stuff in the background, it's because my siblings are up and they're doing things in the background, and this is real life. So I'm not gonna ask them to be quiet while I record, because this is what I experience every day, and this is supposed to be real life. So I'm about to go grab my phone from the other room. I silence my phone overnight so that it doesn't make any noises if people send messages or whatever. But I'm not reading my messages yet. It's just about 6:20, and I wait until I have done my prayer time, my putting away the dishes in the morning for people, and my Bible time. Most of the time I wait until those things are done before I read my messages. But my grandmother lives in the backyard, and she calls my mom every day on the way to work. So I have to go turn up the ringtone on my phone so that mommy will hear when she calls. I usually read 1 or 2 Psalms in the morning, and this Psalm 95 is pretty short, so I'm going to do 2. Oh come, let us sing to Yahweh. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Now, a bit of exercise with some catechism review. I had to in place for 2 minutes, but that's fine. So I'm going to go back to catechism review to finish up. Who are to come to the Lord's table? Those believers. You might have noticed that this morning I did my regular stuff in getting myself ready for the morning and wiping down the bathroom for the family and stuff like that. But I didn't do, well, one thing is, first I woke up, and on my first video you saw that I already had my head covering on. And that is, I wear it to bed and it usually falls off at some point, most of the way off in the middle of the night. And then I put it on in the mornings. That's just when I wake up, I put it on. And you'll also notice that I didn't brush my hair as I was doing my other things to get myself ready for the day. I did that later. And that is because I do my prayer time while I get ready. And where it talks in 1 Corinthians 11 about a woman covering her head when praying and prophesying, I have to take my head covering off to brush my hair. So I don't do that during my prayer time as I do other things. So I keep my head covering on, and then I'll brush my hair at some other point in the day. And you'll also notice that it was really quick. I don't take a lot of time to primp my hair or anything. It just gets brushed, and sometimes I'll do a little bit more with it, but it really doesn't take me long because I don't really care. I brush it and I'm good. But that's just an interesting tidbit of why I don't brush my hair as I get myself ready for the day, and it's actually because of head covering. And so 1 Corinthians 11 really does apply to my everyday life. So it is about 7:45. Sorry for the shaky camera. Okay, so my day is going to be a little weird because Mommy's not feeling well. So she's still laying in, well, she moved beds. She's now in the bed in the living room. So the little ones.
This is not a normal morning.
Yeah, not a normal morning. My day in the life is being weird, but different days are different. So it is beautiful outside. So we are all going to go outside with Daddy. He is getting Josiah dressed right now. Watching him, Josiah has seizures, and so he needs to be supervised at all times to make sure that he doesn't have seizures. So we are going to take the baby outside. I think I'm going to take out my Bible to work on my Bible memory review that I would usually do inside, but since it's so beautiful and we're going out so that Mommy can rest a little bit longer, I think I'm going to do it outside. So it's taken a few minutes to get everybody ready, but these two are ready to go outside. Other people are just finishing up getting ready. You hear Uriah in the background probably. So I would usually, after breakfast, because I didn't explain everything that we did, I did my catechism review, we came out and had breakfast, and then we reviewed our Bible memory verses that are on the board there. During breakfast, Uriah, can you say hi?
Hi.
There's Uriah. We did not read a chapter of Bible this morning just because things are different. Since Mommy isn't feeling well, we'll do family Bible in a little bit at around 10, so about 2 hours from now. We are going to go outside. Usually after breakfast, I would just go do my school stuff in the other room, which I've been graduated, so this is kind of like day in the life of a stay-at-home daughter, because I think people don't really know what we do, because I don't just sit around doing nothing. What, Uriah?
Swing set we gotta make.
Swing set plans. Not exact, just ideas. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go outside. Usually I would do school, you guys would do school with Mommy.
Yes.
But since Mommy's not feeling well, we're gonna go outside now, which we usually go in the afternoon. We don't usually go out in the mornings. And we'll work.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But we'd usually do school stuff in the mornings and then play outside in the afternoon, but our schedule is changing up a little bit today. So we are going to go outside. I'm going to try to do some of my school stuff out there that I would usually do in here, like video editing and the baby's out, Bible memory review and ASL and stuff like that. But we're going to go outside and we'll see you in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Can you say hi, Malachi? Okay. You're going to help me hold the selfie stick. I see. We'll see how well this goes. Camera might shake, but who cares? So we are outside. Malachi is here in the stroller, and I'm walking up and down the driveway. It's kind of windy out here, and I am trying to do my Bible memory review, which is quite difficult when the pages on my Bible keep blowing, to do that while holding the camera. So I had to pause to take a video so that my pages don't blow all around. So I'm in Romans 15 today, and so that I will, as I've memorized a lot, if I haven't reviewed enough, then I start to lose previous memory work that I've done. So I'm going through and reciting a chapter of Romans 3 times in a day, so that I'll be able to regain all my memory work and be able to recite it. So I'm working on that. I've gone through Romans 15 twice now, and it's a fairly long chapter, and so I'm going to do that one more time. Can you say hi, Malachi, again? And we are going to keep going up and down the driveway because he is enjoying being outside. I'm holding the camera while I walk, so this might be bumpy video, but again, it's real life. So I just finished reciting Romans 15 for the 3rd time today. Malachi has now taken over my Bible. So we are walking. The other ones are out doing some yard work stuff, trimming some bushes and carrying off some sticks. I saw them doing earlier. Uriah was running around playing, but then he's like, where is everyone else? Because he was back in the backyard where I was, and everybody else was out on the other side. So that's my grandmother's house down there. She lives with us. Sorry, it's kind of bright out here. Oh, there's Uriah. Uriah! Yeah. So if you'll see behind me, that darker dirt area there, that was our garden last year, and we are going to expand that this year. So that's one of the projects that I'm not working on a ton right now, working on garden plans. I figured out where we're going to buy our seeds, hopefully that sort of thing, but it's a little too early. It's only March 12th, and in Maine you don't plant your garden until like the last weekend in May, because of how cold it is and frost dates and things like that. So we still have a while to work on that, but that's going to be taking up a lot of my time this summer, especially in addition to ministry and other things that I'm working on. So I'll keep walking. What are you guys doing? The little ones, a couple of the little ones have joined us. There's Abigail. You got a puppy? Yeah. So this is my life. I am surrounded by younger siblings who are truly a blessing, and sometimes things change when mommy's pregnant and things happen. Things just look different. Oh, did he drop the?
Yeah.
He dropped the puppy. Sorry. I should pay attention to where I'm pointing this camera. So things look different some days, and that's okay. That's one of the things about being a stay-at-home daughter, where I don't have my school things to do in the same way that I used to, where it used to be more particular. Oh, chipmunk just ran across the driveway. So I used to have it that I needed to get my school done for state requirements and education purposes and things like that. But now that I'm graduated, I have more freedom to do what's necessary in ministering in my family. And that may be helping out with the kids so that mommy can rest. And she's thankfully feeling better and should be able to do some school and stuff with them by the time we're ready to go inside. But my schedule might change, and it might be more important that day that I work on cooking more meals. You'll see later. I usually cook either lunch or supper. Usually it depends on whatever works best for mommy that day. That I work on that, and then I do dishes after supper every night. Naomi does them after lunch, and she makes breakfast, and that just takes some of the strain off mommy so that she can work on school with the others. But this is what it's like, serving in your family and doing whatever God has for you that day. Okay, it is shortly after 9, and we all came inside. The little ones are going to do school with mommy in the other room. I checked my notifications on like social media stuff. I'm only on 2 social media things. One is Facebook, and I don't really go through my feed. I check my notifications and will sometimes look at people's pages. And then I'm on the End Abortion Now Coalition. So that's like people, Christians wanting to abolish abortion in ministry related to that, getting people in contact with other people in their area, things like that. So that's the only 2 social media that I use, and I don't use them all the time or anything. I'll check them throughout the day. But I'm about to start my ASL class. So I have been taking ASL, I might have started this year. But there's 4 levels in ASL, and I am almost finished with ASL 4. And so I watched the video yesterday, and then today I'm going to finish the lesson, and then I'll continue learning more ASL, but that'll be the end of the class. So I'm going to finish that, and then we still have almost an hour until Bible time, but I might be making lunch today, so we'll see how my timing goes, and I might work on some video editing too. Okay, so it is 10 o'clock. I just finished ASL 4, so that is a college class that I was taking, and so now we're about to do Bible. I was also chatting with a friend a little bit over Messenger, so that was fun. I don't get to see her anymore because she moved away, so we still like keeping in touch. So I did that for a little bit, finished my lesson, and then we're going to do Bible time. I'm not sure what our plan is for lunch, so we will see that. We'll eat lunch after Bible. I'm not sure when I'll get another video made, probably at least during rest time, which is directly after lunch cleanup. So we are in Hebrews 4. We did an overview of the book of Hebrews, and then we're going back and doing currently about a chapter at a time, but once we get to longer chapters, we might break them up and do them over the course of a couple days. So we are going to go do Hebrews 4, and we will see you in a little bit. Okay, it is almost 12:30, and so as we started Bible time closer to 10:30. Then we did lunch. We just used some leftovers from the fridge, so I warmed those up and everybody ate those. And then mommy just went and laid down for nap with Malachi, and Uriah is having a rest time in her room. Daddy was in there. They were having a discussion about something. And that's just a time for mommy and daddy to talk and everybody to have some quiet time. Uriah doesn't need a full nap every day, but that just gives him some time to rest and relax. And so Naomi is doing dishes right now. I just cleaned up the kitchen counter, got food stuff put away. Samuel was cleaning off the table. Josiah was sweeping. Abigail was doing other stuff. She might have been sorting pictures or something. And so we're going to have rest time now, which means I have time to work on reading or video editing or whatever I want to do during that, while other people rest or play with games or puzzles or whatever on their bed. So this is just another time in the afternoon that I get a chance to do things. And then I helped with lunch stuff, but where mommy's not feeling well today, I might help with supper stuff too. I have Bible study with Naomi and Daddy and Ammon and Creed in 2 hours. So we'll do that. We're in Matthew 10, and so Ammon and Creed are LDS missionaries. And so we're going through the Gospel of Matthew with Ammon and his former companion Matthew, but Matthew just got moved out of our area and Creed moved in yesterday. So we get to meet Creed for the first time today and talk to him. And so we'll do that. And then tonight I have an ASL social, which starts at 7. So we'll do the bedtime routine, get everybody ready for bed, and I'll come in here. And Abigail really likes Friday nights because she gets a tent made on her bed because I use this room and I need good lighting since it's all in ASL. I can't deal with dark and just talk through it anyway. So I'll put up a tent for her tonight and she's gonna really enjoy that. And I'll do that and we will see you all later. So here's one of my video editing setups. I use iMovie. This is the MacBook Pro that I use. I made my first documentary, I think I actually made all 3 of my documentaries so far on this one. We did get a newer desktop iMac, and I'm going to be using that for some of my projects too. So currently I am re-editing Roe vs. Wade Project Ezra, which was a project that I worked on with Patty Smith last year. And so this is what Scripture says as regards abortion and the duty of the church and the duty of magistrates. So when we made this video, I didn't have good editing skills, and we were also using Windows Movie Maker, which I think I really prefer using iMovie. That might be because that's what I'm trained, like what I now know. Daddy was using Movies Window Maker before. But I really like this setup, and it makes the documentary filmmaking editing process easy for me. And so I have to go through here. I've added transitions. I hope those turn out well. Just how this renders on here, it'll probably be easier once I get it uploaded to see how those turned out. But I also have some audio leveling to do, background music, maybe some other edits to make, and we will see how this goes. I hope it'll be far superior to the original version. I know, you don't usually wear headphones when doing a video, but who cares? This is real life, again. So this is what documentary filmmaking is like, and this is actually, this isn't a documentary, but it's another video I'm working on. You watch the same clip over and over and over and over again as you try to edit it down to exactly where you want it, and then you watch the whole project over again to see if the audio leveling is right and to make sure that the transitions are right. It's a lot of doing the same thing. It's fun, but very monotonous. Repeat. Lots of repetition. That's how it works, but hopefully it'll turn out well.
It's not, I just, like, I'm kind of confused as to why he says that, but also, like, I know there's an answer, like, that's probably not exactly what it means, so.
Well, that's
maybe enlighten me.
that's one of the things that I was looking at. So I was just going to look at 34 through 39. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. I have come.
Dear God, we thank you for this time that you have given us to look to your word. We pray that you would be working in our hearts, that you would guide us, that you would make us to see you as more worthy of honor and worship and our time and our effort than anything else. We thank you that our salvation rests in your finished work, that you have given us rest in you. Pray that you would guide us and conform us more to the image of Christ, that we would draw near to you in everything, that we would. So I haven't made a video for a while. I did work on video editing earlier, and then we went outside. I did a little bit of reading while we were outside. And then we came in because we had Bible study at 2:30. So we got to meet Creed and talk to Ammon again, and that was a wonderful time of looking at Matthew 10 and talking about how Christ is worthy of us giving up everything for his sake. And the verse where he came not to bring peace but a sword, and what does that mean, and how God will judge sin and how heinous sin is in his sight. And we even referenced back to our Bible study this morning as a family about the rest that we have in Christ and how our salvation depends on him. and his finished sacrifice on the cross. So I think my grandmother is up. She lives in the backyard, and she comes up to visit. So I think she is up here now. They were doing a puzzle earlier, and the little ones came in and got to meet Creed too. They always enjoy meeting the guys on the screen, and we'd love to have them here in person, but with COVID restrictions, they can't be here. So we'll stick to video chats for now. And so I'm not quite sure what we're doing for dinner. We made afternoon snack. I had made some pretzels the other day that were in the freezer. So we took those out, and everybody had afternoon snack. And then we'll do dinner tonight, get things ready for the little ones to go to bed. And then I have my ASL chat tonight. So I'm not sure when I'll be making more videos throughout the afternoon, but I'm gonna go hang out with the family. So I am mixing up the ingredients because I was going to make a treat because the kids have, well, I mean all of us. We had toast for breakfast, and then for lunch, oh, we had leftovers. And I don't want to give them too many treats as I try to be a good steward health-wise of what we're making, because sometimes I choose what we're making for meals and help with that. And they did not have sugary treats for either of their meals today or their snack. They had veggies and homemade pretzels. So I thought I was going to make them pancakes to go with eggs for supper. Eggs would give it more fill and it wouldn't just be pancakes, but I'd love to have some pancakes too as a treat. But Grandma, who I mentioned lives in the backyard, decided that she is going to buy us pizza for supper tonight. So I'm mixing up the wet ingredients, and then this is going to go in the fridge. And I did add the sugar, so that should be fine. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, and we'll mix the rest of the ingredients in here tomorrow and use it for a meal. But since Grandma wanted to treat us to supper, we're gonna do that. So again, plans change sometimes. And our plans have changed somewhat today. And I, for one, don't really like changes in... Oh. Naomi came to knock on the window because she didn't realize I was doing a video. Again, real life. So I sometimes don't do well with changes in the schedule, but that's one of the things that I need to work on, because being a stay-at-home daughter, things change sometimes. And so my day might look different depending on the day of the week. Hey, Naomi, do you need something? No. Okay. So plans may change, but why am I a stay-at-home daughter? The short answer is I'm not married, so where else would I be? But I know that answer probably isn't going to suffice people. So in the Bible, we see girls being at home under their father's authority when they are unmarried, or even if you're divorced or widowed, you can move back into your father's home, like we see the Levitical priests and the provisions for Levite girls and them being able to come back into their father's houses and things like that. And we also see wives being under the authority of their husbands, but we don't see women being under the authority of other men to the same degree. I mean, yes, we do see women being under the authority of the elders in the church, as are the men in the local assembly, and that is an instance that we see. But as regards women being outside the home under the authority of a boss, I don't see that shown for us in the Bible. I also see women being keepers at home, and that women should desire marriage and pursue that, and that is my desire. And so I am content to stay here under the authority of my father in his house until God brings the man along and I am handed over to my husband in marriage. And so I am content here serving within my family, doing ministry. I mentioned the LDS missionaries that we were meeting with. That's one ministry that I have in the home, sharing the gospel with them under the authority of my father, but he's more there because it's young men that we're meeting with. They're like 19 and I'm almost 18, so that's an interesting scenario. And so where they're young men, my dad does sit in and join us on those. But I also have met with female missionaries in the past, and just Naomi and I will do that. So that's one way that I'm able to do ministry here in my home. What I didn't show was after I did my last video. By the way, the family's outside. I was staying in to make dinner, but no, that didn't happen. So I was on the End Abortion Now Coalition, and I was able to point somebody to a good law firm. I was able to offer to talk to somebody who's involved in abortion ministry starting out. So hopefully I'll be able to be an encouragement to her in the future. And so these are different things that I'm able to do. I'm an author, I make documentaries, I've worked on other things in the past, writing to law enforcement, reaching out to young girls, my sisters in Christ, encouraging them in the role that God has for them as women, in Bible memorization, in so many things that I have this sphere of influence, even from here in my Father's household, under His authority, being within the God-ordained role for women, and preparing to be a keeper at home, preparing to be a wife and mother under the instruction of my mother, and being able to help with my younger siblings. Yes, I'm still a older sister, so it is different than a parenting role, but being able to help with them and learning child development and seeing so many things that are going to equip me for my future role in serving within my own home and keeping my own house. I can cook meals, I can wash the dishes, I can keep things running, I can keep the kids entertained. There's just so many things that I'm learning to do that God has given me opportunity to learn, as we see in Titus 2, the older women teaching the younger women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, kind, working at home. And so I'm able to learn those things from my mother as a Titus 2 mentor, as an older woman to a younger woman. And yes, that can be done outside the family too, but also in the family. And having some of the good times of my day are after the littles go to bed at night, Naomi and I will crowd into mommy and daddy's room and take over part of their bed. And we'll be in there and play with Malachi and listen to worship music or have biblical discussions or just hang out or play a card game or things like that. And I'm being able to benefit from their wisdom and them still investing in me and knowing very intimately what's going on in my life that wouldn't be to the same degree if I moved out of the house. I'm also have so much freedom in helping and changing my schedule. As hard as that may be, that's still something I'm working on, is being able to adapt. But if I had a job outside the household, yes, I could be providing some money to help my family or whatever, but that's not my role as a woman, or especially as a daughter, to be providing for the household. So even that supposed benefit of bringing something in to help the family is a very much added strain. It binds me. I'm under another person's authority. I don't have as much freedom at home to do what I need to in helping out. And I don't have as much experience being with my siblings and my parents day in and day out and seeing what it takes to run a household. So that's just some of the benefits that I see as being a stay-at-home daughter, and also as my goal is to be a wife and mother in the future. What better way to prepare for that than being in the home now, as opposed to going out and being trained in how to get a career and how to be successful in the outside world, and then having to learn how to go back to being a keeper at home when I do marry. So that's just some of the benefits that I see as a stay-at-home daughter, and I hope that by this I can show that as a stay-at-home daughter, I don't just sit around and do nothing. I'm not completely strange for not having a job and not moving out, even though I am almost 18. I can do things on my own. I'm not being held here. This is of my own volition. Yes, my parents love it, but I would never want to go out. Yes, I can drive a car, I have a phone. I'm not kept from doing these things, but I'm able to also practice joyfully being part of a family and fulfilling the role that God has for me as a woman. And I find that very liberating, and I love the opportunities that God has given me. I have so many experiences that are due to our family lifestyle, where my dad's out on disability, and we homeschool, that we're able to travel, we're able to meet brothers and sisters in Christ. I have so many brothers and sisters who have poured into me as a young woman, and that's just an incredible blessing to me. But this is where I feel that God has me. I feel that it is a blessing to daughters to be under the guidance and authority and protection of their father, under the tutelage of their mother, and learning what God has for us in our lives by watching those who have walked before us. So I hope that just gives a little bit of insight into why I do stay home, because I feel that this is what God has for me, and it's a beautiful thing. you say hi? Say hi. There you go. So this is where we usually hang out in the evenings. This is Mommy's room and Daddy's room. I mean,
It's my room.
it's their room, okay? And his room.
Get out of my room.
And so we usually, Naomi and I, just come in and take over the bed. We share.
Yeah.
And we just hang out for like an hour and a half or 2 hours and talk. Or maybe watch some music videos or sing or play games or play with him.
Or discuss the Bible.
Bible discussions, read books, anything. We really do a lot. But I'm going to leave them.
After reading Letters to a Mormon Elder. I haven't read that.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Sorry, Dr. White.
I'm too busy
We're
talking.
behind.
We're behind. Okay, I'm going to go out here. You guys can hang out.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, now I'm going up to the other room. So here in the living room, we have Christmas lights up. But I'm going to turn this light on because it'll be better for video. Okay, sorry. Pardon the lighting. That's terrible. Okay, I'm just going to do this because that's better. Okay, so it is about 8:20, and it's been a while since I made a video, but Grandma did get us pizza for supper, and so it was at the local pizza place. So she brought that home, and we all had dinner together. And then after dinner, I usually do the dishes, but there aren't really many dishes because we had pizza tonight, and that didn't make dishes. Malachi's coming to join me, and so I didn't do dishes, but we then came out to the living room after a while, and sometimes we'll turn on like worship music. We like Sovereign Grace music with Bob Coughlin and the rest of them, so we listened to that, and that was playing for a while. Malachi here loves music, and so he always enjoys when we turn on music on YouTube. So we were doing that, and then we read a chapter of the Little House on the Prairie series. We do that as a family. My aunt and uncle got those for us for Christmas, so we read that at night while all the kids settle down before bed, and then we do prayer time together as a family. So after we did that, I went into my room and did my ASL social, so I think I'll include some video of that. And so that was really fun, being able to practice my sign language. I finished ASL 4 today, so I still have a lot of practice and learning to do, and the socials are very good for that, for being able to interact with those who know the language and learning from them. And they're all very gracious and will bear with me as I'm slow and have to ask them to repeat themselves. So after that, that goes for almost an hour. So then after that, I went back into the bedroom, and Daddy was having a discussion on Facebook about head covering. So we were discussing that, and I was reviewing a video that I had made. What do you want? Oh, you want that? Okay. I don't think you need the tripod. So the rest of the evening, we'll probably go get a snack and hang out for the rest of it, and then I might see you one more time before I go to bed. I don't know if I'm gonna make another video or not. I've got a little camera helper. So I go to bed around 9. We usually listen to a sermon or Answers News from Answers in Genesis, or The Dividing Line with Dr. White, or whatever else we may listen to. Paul Washer sermons, Jeff Durbin, Vodi Bakum. The baby turned off the recording, so we're back. Jeff Durbin or Paul Washer, or whatever other sermon sounds good at that night. So even though today has looked a little different, I hope that this can give you a glimpse into the life of a stay-at-home daughter, a little bit about what I do and what I don't do, maybe. I don't just sit around on my phone. I don't spend my entire day apart from my family. I do have a lot of times where I'm doing things, whether that be being outside with the family, or we're working on, I did work on a puzzle for a while with Grandma and Abigail and Naomi. We were the ones working on it today, but we've got like a 500-piece puzzle going, and so we work on that. And whether it be playing games or helping Josiah crawl as he's working on his therapy, playing with the baby. The baby will also sometimes come in with me while I'm doing schoolwork, and he likes to think that he likes watching my sign videos with me, but he can get bored of this. So he'll sometimes join me. But I hope this just is a good overview. So what all do I do? Bible memory, catechism, ASL, ministry project, whether that be writing or video editing or whatever it may be. Doing that, spending time with the family, doing family worship, getting ready in the morning and doing my prayer time, reading my Bible, helping with meals and dishes for the family. There's really a lot that goes on in a day, and sometimes days just are very different. Like today when Mommy was sick, usually I would have done my school by myself and then come out here during family worship. But where that was different today, I ended up going outside with them, and that's okay. It's just a different thing, and that's what it means to be serving in my family, is to go with the flow and go wherever I'm needed. And yes, my parents do give me time and make sure that I'm able to pursue the things that I'm wanting to do, but really those things can be put off. Like, yes, I want to learn ASL, but if I miss my ASL lesson today, it's okay. I'm on a self-paced thing. It doesn't really matter. That can be done tomorrow. If all the kids end up waking up sick some morning, it's not important that I have to do all these other things. I can just be available to serve within my family where God has me and to be able to help with those things. So there's really a lot that I can do. I'm not held here. It's not a burden to have to be home. It's really a blessing and a joyous thing that I can contribute to the atmosphere of my family, and that I can do ministry. I can witness to people like Creed and Ammon. I can do all of these things, witnessing to Mormon missionaries, doing Bible studies with my sisters in Christ, encouraging my brothers and sisters in Bible memory review, in abortion ministry, just getting people connected with others in their state or their area, or with legal help or whatever it may be. We can be facilitators, even though I can't be out on the street doing ministry like we used to do due to different things that are going on in our family right now, and COVID, and so many things that are going on. Even though I don't have that time out on the street all the time, I still have so many things that I can be doing here in my home and ministering in my family and helping my siblings to grow in the grace and knowledge of the Lord, and being there as an older sister and setting a good example for Naomi, who's 4 years younger than me, and then Abigail, who is almost 6, as to what it is to be a young woman in Christ and being under my father's authority and not rebelling against that and seeking to go out and be independent, but truly enjoying where God has put me in my life. And yes, I do look forward to marriage. I do look forward to the ministry opportunities that will come with that, and all the blessings of marriage. But I also want to be content in where God has put me now. And right now, He hasn't given me a husband. So I'm supposed to wait here contentedly, and I'm just hoping that I can be an example to others as I seek to submit to my Father. Yes, obey your parents, but also doing it joyfully, not feeling like it's a pressured thing, but truly enjoying living in your family and enjoying the benefits and blessings of being a daughter under your father's protection. It is just about 9 o'clock, and so I am going to go get ready and head to bed. Thank you all for joining me in this day in the life, and we will see you later.